think we are live. I think we made it, child.
We are live, honey. We are live, child.
Girl,
Live, honey.
we,
We made it.
we done finally made it. We ain't got no video, y'all. We ain't
Technical
got nothing,
issues.
but we
Okay.
just doing it. We just doing
We
it.
right because it.
Listen,
Listen, I would.
y'all.
We wasn't gonna
We're
say
trying to get
fuck
on
it.
here since what? 10:30.
Yes, child. Jesus, yeah. Jesus,
Since
fucking Christ.
10:30, we've been trying to get up on here with y'all,
Jesus,
man.
fix it. Do you hear me? Fix it,
And
Jesus.
it was all because my ass didn't have video on properly. Or I had a video on block. It was just a lot, y'all. It
And
was a lot.
listen, we
But
still
we
got
made
some
it.
minor technical issues, but I said fuck it. Let's do audio.
We just here. Y'all ain't even got to see us. Y'all know what we look like, right?
That part, and then we'll try it again next fucking week. You know
We just gonna keep doing it. That's all. Because we just gonna keep doing it. And
that's
so welcome to Sister Shit Live, y'all.
that part. That part.
Just
Welcome
welcome.
everybody. Welcome.
Welcome. Y'all can't see. Yeah, look, they can't see nothing, huh?
They
It ain't
can't see
nothing.
shit.
What happened? We ain't got no avatar. We
We
ain't.
don't
That's
have
all right, y'all.
nothing.
It's all right. It
It's
is. I
fine.
promise you. It's gonna have to be all right because it is what it is. And I think I don't think you really need to see us to talk about what we're talking about tonight.
Not at all, child. Not at all. In fact, we
Anyway,
can let our titties out.
we can let them out today because they're gonna have to hang out with all of these shenanigans that's happening on this doggone broadcast. I'm not gonna believe that we've been really trying to get up on here for a whole hour.
We were trying to get up on this shit for a whole fucking hour. Yes, ma'am.
And so we decided that we coming on at right now. It's okay. We're gonna have
That's
this chat
it.
and we're gonna talk about this topic because it's definitely an important topic. And I didn't even know it had a title until you sent me the video.
Child. Ain't that crazy?
I mean, I guess they make up topics for a lot of things, but bed rotting is not a topic. You know what I'm saying? That's just not something that I ever would have thought of.
So I'm gonna read what the meaning of it is. I'm gonna read
Mhm.
it. Okay, bed rotting. Have you heard of bed rotting? It's a new self-care trend that involves staying in bed all day by choice. Bed rotting involves staying all day in bed to do things like scroll through social media or binge watching a show. People are embracing bed rotting as a form of self-care. But there's a controversy on that because there have been things being said that a sign of depression? Did we come up with a cute way to make depression okay?
Mm. Hmm. Well,
Now I'm
at
gonna tell
least
you
a
what I
cute
think.
name. At least a cute name for it, if nothing else, because I don't know, bed rotting. Like who? I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
that
The
sounds
name,
crazy. That,
yeah, it
that
does
bed
sound.
rotting sounds like depression realness.
It does. It
It
does.
sounds like depression realness. I think we are in a time where we find justification to not do better. So I do believe that bed rotting, based on the definition I just read from Google, right, is a cute way to push depression to the side as a possibility and say, oh no, I'm self-caring by bed rotting. We're just gonna call this no, that's not it. Because when I've had those moments of just wanting to lay the fuck in the bed and scroll, I was serving depression realness. I didn't want to do shit because I just didn't feel like life was worth being a part of. So for me, I think that's just a cute way to dress up depression and not really address it.
And I also think, I don't know, especially at this time of year, the
Mm,
holiday
mm.
season, the holidays, end of the year. You know what I mean? It's just really the holiday season, really in general, though. You
Yes.
got, especially and I can only speak to women. You have us, we sad about, well, maybe sad about the season. It's darker, longer.
Yeah.
Um, Finances sometimes are crazy during this time of year. We get to worrying about how we gonna buy, all these toys or Christmas presents, or how we gonna do this or how we gonna do that. We get
Yes.
to thinking about maybe we didn't do everything we said we wanted to do at the top of the year, and now we at the end of the year and we still haven't done it. And so sometimes we feel like we want to just ball up and get in this bed for the
Yep.
rest of the year. And that That really is depression. It really is.
And let me read you. Okay, so I found where it says side effects of bed rotting. It says lack of physical activity due to bed rotting can hinder stress relief, endorphin release, and blood flow, potentially leading to mood changes.
Right.
Too much time on social media while bed rotting can lead to feeling of isolation, FOMO, lowered self-esteem, and reliance on dopamine from online interactions. Oh, we just said that.
Right.
We
Right.
didn't have the elaborate.
Right. You didn't have all that with it, but okay.
Okay. So my concern is that with the times that we're in is that we do a lot of covering. We're doing a lot of cute words. We're doing more dressing this shit up so we don't have to really address. I really feel like that. I really
I see that.
feel like I hate to say it like this, but I don't know no other way to say it. We're being programmed to be, everybody needs therapy. And I'm just like, is there anybody not in therapy, and not in therapy because they don't need it? Like really don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Or is everybody in therapy? Like the therapists need a therapist. Like I just kind of feel like even like in when I look at how the medical world is going, it's really training people to practice. No one really don't know anything. There's no solution. Take a pill for it. Go lay down somewhere. It's okay. Like even with the lazy work, like I'm looking at workouts. People are like laying on the floor, scrolling through the internet, trying to do a workout. How? Even working, and then y'all selling it. And not only are you selling it, but you have overweight people that look like they're not doing well selling it for you. And it's the I don't know, it's just, I'm just like, no one sees this. No one sees.
But you know what? The thing though with the bed rotting and as it equates to the depression and all of that though, is that if it truly is depression, there is no masking, there is no pretending, because depression actually changes the composition of your brain. You know what I mean? So if that really is what it is, and it truly is depression, I can't say bed rotting. I just can't with the bed. I just can't because it sounds so ridiculous to me.
So how do we decipher who's in? Like for me, I can sit in the bed for like an extra hour. I can't do that shit all day, but I can lay up for an hour, take a nap, scroll through and take a breather before I get up. But I just lay up. Rotting to me, when I hear rotting, it sounds like lay down and just do nothing and be sad and
right.
And then when I'm reading the definitions of it, I'm like, but the name and the definition don't match.
Right. Yeah. Because because the definition is by choice.
Yes.
If it really is depression, it's not by choice. It's just
that
not.
Part.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not. You don't choose to get in. I mean, you choose it to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But it's you can't help it. Your brain is not
that part. But my concern with this new term is you're telling everyone it's okay to lay up because this is healthy. So now those that have depression or in denial about depression, now they have a reason to now not even acknowledge that shit is there. Oh, well, they're saying this is not what I'm doing is bed rotting. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no black and white. It's like you're saying by the definition, bed rotting is okay. So those that are in denial, which at one point I was in denial about depression before I had to acknowledge that I had that shit going on. Right. That gives somebody like me back then an opportunity to be like, well, fuck, I'm not depressed because I'm based on this. I'm choosing to lay here. I'm choosing. So, and this is healthy. They said this is healthy.
Right.
You see how they can be misleading? Then you'll have a bunch of people you don't even know. You got this floating around. So now if I see my homegirl doing this and I don't hear, oh, she's just bed rotting. I don't feel like I need to check on her now because we have a
Right.
term out here called bed rotting. So meanwhile, she might really need somebody to check on her, but based
Right.
on this definition, I don't feel like I need to check on her now.
Right. Because
They
this
said it's healthy.
definition is just that though. That's what's crazy to me. That really is. And when as I was watching the video and listening to it, I really want to go back to it because I'm like, what?
We were trying to play it, but we had technical issues.
No, I ain't gonna play it on there. I'm gonna leave. I ain't fooling around on there. I'm on the phone. I'm not about to play with these girl. No, ma'am. Nope. I'm done playing. I'm done, having technical.
Well, what we could do is we could try to find it and then post it in the comments.
No, I did find it. I have it.
Oh, you do?
Because I have it, the one you sent it to me.
Boom. Okay, so we can post it in the comments so people can see what we were talking about. But it's.
Oh, wait, can I do that? Yes, I can.
Yeah, I think we can do
video. Can I do that? Yes, I can.
Yeah, we can do video comments.
But wait a minute. Y'all, I am so jacked up with the technical difficulties here. And, oh my goodness. I'm just gonna say, hold on, because okay, y'all can't see it, but I'm just about to say it. It says, feeling deeply unsafe in your life. To protect yourself from these big, uncomfortable emotions, your nervous system activates your shutdown response.
Yes.
But the shutdown response, of course, is usually reserved for times of fight or flight type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So avoiding them, and you're avoiding them by scrolling, watching TV, eating, and procrastinating. And you shouldn't be ashamed of it because, oh my God, your nervous system is using this to conserve the energy so that you're prepared to feel better or to feel these feelings.
You see this?
And it's associated with the mother's womb and the time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this in the comments because and then I got to put this in the comments. It says it's not going to have sound, but the caption is on, so y'all got to read. Y'all have to see this because I do think that's a little. I don't know. I think it's a little misleading, as you said, because it's going to lead to people saying, "Well, hell, I got this, and this is okay," like you said, right?
It's the ones that are in denial, that don't want to hear that there's potentially something mentally wrong. You know what I'm saying? This gives people, that's not really helping nobody. And I think in the medical world, what we've done is gotten so greedy that we've dissected everything down instead of just keeping that shit black and white. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got too many terms, too many this, too many that, too many rationales, too many, it's just, and even it's just stress upon stress. You're stressed because you could have something mentally wrong. Then you're stressed that you got something mentally wrong and it could be true and it's going to be on your record. And how does this follow you? And am I going to have to take medication? And how does this fuck with my kids? It's a running, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no, everything has a term. And it's like people who really need help, we create scapegoats for this shit. We create scapegoats. And so these people have it's hard to get someone as a coach to get someone to hold accountability for themselves when you have so many things out here that gives them an outlet to not. Like you got a diagnosis for everything and it don't even be that fucking deep. You know what I'm saying? But for the sake of money, it became that deep. And it's like, with raising 2 kids with disabilities, and I look at this and I look at the moms in this community that legit do have depression, that legit do have anxiety, and how hard, like when I was suffering with it real bad, how hard it was for me to get help. There was no cute terms like bed rotting during them times that allowed me to say, okay, well, this is what it is. Cause I'm let me be real cute and transparent. Because I was in denial realness, I know for a fact, if I had came across some shit like that, I probably would have just been lackadaisical with getting help. That, okay, this is it.
Yeah. This is it. This has got to be it. And this is okay.
Yeah, and this is fine because they said it, Google said it's fine, and everybody else said it was fine.
Dr. Google.
Yeah.
Dr.
And any
Google.
minute now, I'm gonna have a revelation, but my body is preparing me for that shit.
Right. And it says it's an emotional trauma response. And I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I could, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but I just don't see that because it's just the way they described it in the video that I just watched in the yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily that. I just think that, like you said, it's a cute term, and maybe a bit of it's too much of a scapegoat. You can put that on that, you know what I mean? And so now you don't have to face it. I think sometimes we look for a way to make it easier not to face it.
Yeah, that part. That part.
It's easier not to face it. It really is a lot of times, but but if you really, really think about it though, in the grand scheme of things, it's not easier. It's not. It's
It's
really
not.
not. You are because you out here jacked up. You out here messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you really depressed, you fucked up. Shit, like it's not easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not easier to live in your bed, to really and truly be depressed and you really binge watching and eating everything you can find in the bed because it's not easier.
It's not, and it creates like it creates a false narrative, and it just really does because it's what I look at these days when I look at the medical world, and people think I'll be crazy when I have these conversations. That's why I don't typically do, but we're here. When I look at the direction, I'm like, the greed is right in front of your face and we don't even realize it. Like being a coach, one of the deepest things that I'll never understand is if I tell you this habit right here reminds me of depression, I suggest you go get this looked at. And they won't do it because that they don't want to believe it's that you don't want to go get it looked at, but you'll go to the internet and you'll be like, well, the internet said, why are we
Mhm.
doing this from the internet? Baby,
Mhm.
why are we doing this from this is why you are in a rabbit hole chasing yourself in this hamster wheel going in circles because you just don't want to admit that you have. And then not only that, but then you're going to the social media, which is super convenient, more convenient than a doctor, and you're able to self-diagnose.
Mhm.
And not only are you
Mhm.
self-diagnosing, but you're finding the cutest shit to self-diagnose. Well, I have what's the one that works my nerve? Personality disorder or personality child, child,
Mm.
child, child. You right. You do have personality disorder. That's by choice. You choose to be crazy as fuck.
Mhm.
You choosing
Mhm.
that shit, and and you're using mental health as the scapegoat to be able to do that. There, and then there's some people that really,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no.
Yep. Absolutely right.
And
Yeah.
then even with this, I'm like, okay, this is clearly designed to keep some people in denial. And the further in denial they go, the sicker they get, the worse it gets, the more money you're going to make on this person when they finally crack.
Mhm. Now that's a fact though.
That is a whole fact.
That's a fact because at some point, especially if you're not being diagnosed properly or you're not doing, what needs to be done to maintain, not even just to maintain, but to first of all identify and acknowledge that you have, the symptoms or that you have real symptoms or a real issue. You know what
Right.
I mean? Without you got to do that first.
Yeah.
And if you keep pushing it to the side, the longer it takes to diagnose, the worse you're going to get. The worse you are,
Yes.
the more likely it is that you will need, medication or additional medication or whatever, you know what I mean, or
Yep.
additional treatment or medical treatment.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't get medical treatment. I'm not saying you don't need it. But what I will say is, um, for me, you know, yes, medication is helpful, but I think what is most helpful for me are the self practices, the internal, you know what I mean, the internal practices, and setting up the routines,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
things
Yes,
like
yes,
that. I
yes.
think that quiets me, and you know what I'm saying, and it helps when I get into those different states a lot more than the medication itself.
That.
And well, yeah, honestly, I really do. I think those things work in conjunction, of course, with each other. They work
So
well together.
let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So, with your bipolarism, and since you've been working out, what have you noticed from now at this point in your life versus
Mhm.
before with your diagnosis? Like, what have you noticed the differences?
Oh goodness, I have no really the difference is in the clarity and the
Ooh,
awareness.
okay.
The clarity and the awareness. Um and when I say the clarity comes with knowing and understanding that I have to remain aware as much as possible. Because when you are aware, at least when I'm aware, and self awareness means that I notice when triggers happen,
Right.
and not even just triggers. I know because it's not with bipolarism. It's not about a trigger. That's the one thing that really needs to. I need to say that it's not about a trigger. It's just not. It's something that's going to happen, whether you're triggered or whether you're not. Because you see
Ah,
what I'm saying? It doesn't go away.
got
It
it.
The symptoms are maintained, right? And they're manageable. They're manageable. But
Okay.
it's not going to go away. It's just that the it may not be as severe. So your high may not be as severe. Your lows may not be as severe. You know what I'm saying? Those depressive periods may not last as long. You see what
Gotcha.
I'm saying? And so being aware means noticing that it's coming. Before I didn't notice it. I would just be in it, right?
Okay. Okay.
You see what
Okay.
I'm saying? So I didn't notice it was coming. Since I notice when it's coming and I know I can kind of time it. And even if, sometimes maybe it'll slip away a little bit and I'll be like, oh shoot, wait a minute. I see this is happening. I see I'm extra hyper this week. So
Okay.
since I'm extra hyper this week, and not necessarily hyper in ooh, I'm running all over the place, but yes, ooh, I'm running all over the place.
Right.
You know,
Right.
yeah, I might start this thing or I might start that thing, but now I have the energy and the awareness and the clarity to know that, wait a minute, okay, I got all this extra energy. I can work out a little extra. I can get more projects done, right? I can create more. That's when I use those times creatively. Now, when the time comes, and I recognize that period is happening because it's gonna happen,
Right.
instead of but when I'm aware of it, I know and I see it like, oh, wait a minute, let me get up and do something a little more productive. You know what I'm saying? Let me get up and go do a workout.
Okay.
That's when the workout part is good for me. Not during the high times, but during the
Okay.
low times, right? Because during the low is gonna give me
The
that
energy you need
that
to
I need.
boost.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah.
To move and to function. And so, in conjunction with medication, that's how that works good for you. You
Ah.
see what I mean? So, if when you do it that way, and that's what people need to understand, like, yeah, yes, you can control your symptoms. Yes, you can take the medication. I don't care how much it's not going to go away. It's just not because there is a change in your brain. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that's gonna happen. You just have to know how to manage it when it does.
That
That's the key.
part.
Right. That's the key. And that really has been, like I said, the workout part and the because when you eating better, your brain is clearer.
So let me ask you this. Do you find that you're having less moments, like less
Mm,
lows?
mm. No, they're not, they're no less. The length of time, they don't last as long.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So the how long they last has
Yeah.
changed.
And
Got
the
it.
severity, the severity of it, not just the
Ah.
length of time, the severity.
So what
Because
would a low look like before? Like prior
oh,
to you saying I'm gonna get my shit together, what did that low
ooh,
look like before? Like what, and the reason why I'm asking, because there could be anybody that's watching this now or may catch it later,
yeah,
this is good because you might be that person that don't even realize this could be happening. And if you're looking for help and don't know how to describe if any of these hit, then you know, okay, I might be able to take this back to the doctor and describe it this way because this is
mhm,
what's happening. So
yes,
this is
yes.
good information. But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Wait, okay, wait. Ask the question one more time.
What did your lows look like
Okay.
before now?
Oh goodness, the lows before looked like, oh my goodness,
And
the
how long
lows
did they
were,
last prior to
ooh,
compared to now? Like what would that look like?
the lows were severe, severe. The lows at that time, especially, and at this time, I was, overweight, 260, damn near 270 pounds. 263 is a lot closer to 270 than it is to such a look. um, you know what I'm saying? And that, and just eating whatever, and then um staying in my room, that was a lot. That was a big thing. Now, but let me kind of break it up though. Like when I would have to work, I would still have the low. So I would go to work, you know what I'm saying? I do what I got to do. But then I would come home and I worked like the overnight shift at this point in my life.
Woo!
I was working the overnight shift, and not just the overnight shift. I would work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Oh,
or I would work 2 p.m. to 6 a.m.
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I used to do that shit like 5, 6 days a week. And I would do that not always because I needed the money, but because it would keep me from crashing in. Because when I crashed in my room, I would just crash, and I would just go in there and just be in there, and I would just be, and I would just lay there, or I might watch TV all day, and I might get up and go get something to eat and take it back in my room and just sit in there and just veg the fuck out, which like really. Um, and the lows, like I said, the lows, sometimes the lows were so low. There was a point where I would just be contemplating, like, well, I really could just go ahead and die and, just wrap all of this shit up
Okay.
and just leave that alone. And you know what I'm saying? And just check out and get rid of this shit. Then I don't have to deal with any of it. So I would
Right.
be fighting with myself in my mind. Like really, it would really be
Yeah.
a fight
It's a
in my
literal
mind.
fight.
Like,
Yeah.
one hand is like, okay, we could just do this. On the other hand, like, girl, is you crazy? What the hell's wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the low, and they would last. And the other thing is I didn't have the luxury of just really sitting in my room all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just in there. Now when I ended up hurting my back at work, and I was out of work and was completely out. Now that happened in 2018, and I was completely out. So that made it worse
Because you were down, down.
because I was down, down. So I had this terrible back injury that was, I think, made more terrible in my mind, even though it was bad. Don't get me wrong, because it was. I had to get surgery and everything. But in hindsight, and when I look back at the progression of the food and the weight and all of it put together, you know, depression causes physical symptoms as well.
Yes, it does.
Bipolarism causes physical symptoms as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Okay.
the lows were severe, severe lows. Like I said, to the point where I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. I had terrible. My eyes were so dark, damn, they was damn near black.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. It really was. That was a severe, severe low. Hair fell out.
Oh,
Um,
from the stress.
yep, all of that. From the yes, and you when people say that shit, stress will kill, that shit will
That
kill you.
shit is
And even
real.
if it is, and even if it doesn't, you don't actually die a physical death. You are still dying.
It's a
You're
slow death.
slowly dying. It's a slow
It's a
progression.
slow,
Yes.
torturous death.
I was just about to say it is torturous, and it's not. It's like you like The Walking Dead, literally.
You are.
So it's not. and I always describe it as being in like a dungeon or a cave or something, and you
It is.
down there, right? And you're down there and you look up and you can see the light, but you cannot get up there.
Yeah. No, that's
That's what it
real.
is. Yeah, that's
Real.
exactly what it is. You see it up there. And it's
Yeah.
like, damn, the light is there if I up there, but then you can't move because you know it's so heavy on you, you can't move. And so
Yes,
you just lay there like,
it is.
you know what, fuck it, I see that light, but I can't get up there and get
I can't get to it. Yep. And fuck it. I'm not even, I'm
it.
tired of trying right now.
And yes, and I'm
I'm
tired
tired
of
of trying.
trying. And
Yep.
I'm tired
And
of
it's
trying.
because it's much easier to do this right now.
And it's so easy to just lay here.
Yep.
It's so much easier.
Because my mind is heavy and I ain't got
Yeah.
nothing else. I can't take nothing else. I don't want to
Mhm.
think about nothing else. I
Yeah.
don't want none of that.
Yep. And it really takes a real shift in your mind to be like, you know what, I don't want to think this way no more. I don't want to be this way no more. I don't want to do this part of it. But again, the medication was the key
Can I
initially.
be real with you? When people, I try to remind people when they see me now, I'm like, girl, don't get it fucking twisted. Because what
That
I
part,
do is not for the weak. Like, this was
that
not
part.
you don't get it. Like,
Yes.
you're looking at the end result, but you don't know what type of shit I had to go through to get over it. Like, you
Mhm.
don't
To get
get it.
over here.
You don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it's deeper for me. Like, you got people out here, it's just straight up vanity. And I'm like, no, bitch, this was my life. I legit was fighting for my mother fucking life by
Yes, ma'am.
myself.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
With legit people in my ear. And I'm like, I'm in this motherfucker going through depression. And I knew I had undiagnosed something. I didn't
Mhm.
know until later it was ADHD, but I'm like, I got other shit mentally going on. Like, I'm finding little shit out because I'm like, what is the mental health of my fucking family right now? Because I feel
Right.
like I got mental instability. I can't get help. I got to dig
Right.
some shit out to figure some shit out because right now I'm slowly dying. And this is not
Mhm.
it. I am literally fighting daily to just get the fuck out the bed. Do you hear me?
Mhm. Yes,
With
ma'am.
two disabled babies. Okay. Like, I got
Mhm.
to literally drag my ass out the bed, drag myself to a job I absolutely hate, drag
Mhm.
myself back
Mhm.
home. And on
Yes,
my
ma'am.
way home, I'm about to get these good old chicken wings, the fucking
Yep.
my donuts, the whole nine. Because I'm
Yep.
telling you, bitch, do you understand what mental capacity
Yep.
it took me to do this?
Yep.
And
And
not
sit
only do
your
it, but
ass
I
in the
sat
car half the time. I might
bitch,
pull up somewhere and eat all this bullshit
bitch.
and smoke a goddamn joint and shit
See, I
just to
wasn't
prepare
smoking it, but I
myself.
was drinking.
Oh, I
I
was doing
wasn't
both.
smoking it, but drinking was my shit. So I was drinking. And when I was married at the time, I would come home blazed, honey. And I'm a chill drunk. I'm not the one to be all fighting and shit. I'm the chill bitch.
Right.
So if
Right.
I came
Right.
in the house extra geeked and ready to have a good time, he'd be like,
Wait a minute. What you got going on, Heifer? What the hell is
bitch.
you doing?
Listen, so it was for me, it was depression, undiagnosed ADHD,
Mhm.
baby, my anxiety, when I tell you up, down, left, right, like I was just like, bitch, I don't know if I'm going or coming, and it's wearing me out. And not only wearing me out, but now I gotta tuck this shit in. Like, I
Right.
literally was working for a job and they flew me into Miami. Miami was corporate headquarters. Well, there was two corporate headquarters, one here and one in Miami. So
Okay.
they flew me into Miami, and in the meeting, child, had a whole mental breakdown.
Mm.
When I say I'm literally okay, well, per then, I
Right.
thought I was okay. And
Right.
it just hit. And when I say hyperventilating, like I had to damn near come up out my shit because I felt closed in. I couldn't breathe. It was a big shit show. And
Mhm.
that was the moment something in my head went, there's mental health issues running through your family.
Right.
You can't be the only one.
Right.
And you need to you're not getting receiving the help. You're and I had Anthony at the time. I didn't have Lyric. You're not, and I'm
Okay.
at this time I'm doing EAP, but EAP really ain't really shit because the therapist really wasn't shit. So and I don't like being fluffed, and it was hard to find a therapist that would just give me black or white. I was
Mhm.
getting the therapist, and I would tell the therapist, I need you to be direct. Well, a trauma response, bitch. No, that ain't. I'm telling you how I'm gonna, because you're gonna talk too much, and then you're
Right.
gonna give me time to think.
Right. Exactly.
I want to tell you what my problem is, so you give me a direct answer, black, white, so it don't leave me with time to think. Just don't do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And no one could get that, and I was quitting therapists left and right, and it took me years to. By the time I found Bonita, I had already dug myself out halfway out the motherfucking sewer.
Mm.
So
Mm. 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 Mm.
when I tell you that was the most interesting. I wouldn't wish that on nobody because that was a mental hell.
It's rough. It is.
That was a mental hell.
It's hell. It feel like you drowning. It
Yes.
feels like you can't get out. You feel trapped. I used to feel
Yes.
trapped. Like
Right.
I can't. Where am I going? There's nowhere else to go.
Yep.
It's not. You feel like it's not gonna get no better, and
Yep.
you just really sit there like, what the? This
Fuck
can't be
that.
it.
This cannot be it.
This cannot be it. I like you said, dragging yourself to a job you hate.
Baby.
Oh Lord. I
Baby.
mean, literally dragging yourself. Every
And
now and
don't
again,
don't
taking a
you
little
find
sip.
it deep that we've been trained to like our jobs?
Yeah, I wasn't even
And
trained to like my
say,
shit.
but look at society though. Like
Mm-hmm.
most people are not living in what they love, doing what they love to do. They're doing what
Mm-hmm.
they're told they have to do, and
Yes.
they're told to like it.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. Not yeah, no, that's a lie. I'm not even look. I will say this. I loved the elderly people. I loved caring for them. I absolutely did. But I did not love the back breaking abuse. You know how that shit is in the nursing
Yes.
homes and stuff. That part I did not love. And so to have to do that every single, and I did that for a long time. And not even just that, when I was doing, because I didn't just do the physical part, I did all types of stuff. I might have been the secretary at this point, or I might have been physical, who knows? But all of that shit was stressful. Shit,
Yes.
all of it. And to have to drag yourself and go, and I used to have in 16-hour days, 12, oh my God. And
Yeah.
then I live here, you know where I live at. And
This.
I worked in the South towns, where, in the snow belt South towns, girl. And I was, I got to drive out here through all this goddamn snow. To come out here, sometimes you couldn't even see the fucking in front of your face to get the hell out there, girl. And I used to go. I used to do it. I would do that shit. And then when I would come home, it would feel like hell. It was
Yeah.
on, you know what I'm saying? It was hell on top of hell. It
Yes.
was hell on top of hell. And I would drag myself up them stairs, and that darkness would just overtake me. It just would, you know what I'm saying, envelop me when I get into that house.
Listen.
It was hell. It really was.
Listen. I don't. I would. This is why when I backslide ain't even a motherfucking option for me.
It's not an option.
It's
It's
not
not an
an
option.
option.
Absolutely not.
No, it's not. I had to work really, 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 really. Ooh, child.
Hmm.
Ooh, child.
Hmm. To
Mm-mm-mm.
get to the yes, to even get to a place where I can sit here and have the damn conversation about
Lit-
it.
and not fall apart. How about that?
And not only not fall apart, but not feel embarrassed or
Embarrassed
feel
about it.
stigmatized. You know what I'm saying? Or feel
Yep.
like it shouldn't be said,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Mm-mm. And
This.
yeah, people need to understand. And like you said, people look and see you, skipping all over the goddamn place and shit,
Girl,
happy and good and great now, but you didn't see what you
what
ain't see
that
that
shit
dark shit.
entailed to get here, girl. That
Yes.
was the most grueling, the hardest. Girl, and there were days where I have no words. Like there were days where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Lord, why am I
Mm-hmm.
here?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
What is this for?
literally
What is
had
this
days.
about?
What is this about? Like how did why am I doing this?
Right.
What
What
the
is the point
fuck?
of
What is
any of
this?
this?
What is
Right.
this shit? How did I get here? What is this? And how do I not revisit this? If I make it out, how do I not revisit it? Because that's the only
Mm-hmm.
way I'm gonna be able to do life is if I don't do this again.
Yes.
I'm not
Literally,
going to be able
yes.
to do life because let me be clear. You and I wouldn't even be having this conversation if I was still
Absolutely.
stuck. We just would none of
Absolutely.
this shit would be going on. Fitmon would even be anything. None
Right.
of this would be anything. Jador wouldn't be anything. Nothing I have going on right now would be anything.
That's
Um,
right.
it's when I say this, that's why I don't do excuses. That's why when women have excuses, it's like, girl, I can't even fathom. You don't even understand what I was up against. You don't even understand the nights when my son had cold blues and I had to be like, do I still work out, God? Like, nigga, I'm in the hospital trying to save his life. And I got the ancestors over my shoulder saying, keep going. And then sent a little Jewish dude down to the room to tell me about the gym across the way was free for parents that were in the ICU with their kids and shit. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I guess I'm going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like the even when with it's just people don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Listen,
when
no,
he
they
was on
don't.
life support and shit, we still
No,
go
they
work.
don't.
I'm in the fucking hospital room with my bands, with the 5-pound dumbbells when I didn't have all this going on. Like literally, like I'm too far in. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't. We're in this situation, and all I'm gonna do is sit in this chair and say, God, why me? So I might as well cry and get these motherfucking jacks in, these goddamn push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to really train my brain to do something different. And I had a lot of shit stacked up against me that I could have truly used to say, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? And that's why, man, that's why I think it's important to share these type of stories and these triumphs, these challenges and the triumphs that come after them. You know, people kill me with the you supposed to stay humble. You did this, you did that, and you're now at that next stage in your life. First of all, clearly you don't know what humble truly means. Humble means
That
to lower yourself. Hello, that's what that actually means, to lower yourself or think of yourself at a lower level. Let me tell you something. I okay have have been on the floor ready to fucking die.
yeah,
I have questioned my very existence. I have struggled and, like you said, fought for my goddamn life. For every damn breath I take right now, that
that,
shit was a fight and it was a struggle. And if
baby.
you see me skipping my happy ass 80 pound less, 80 pounds lighter, God damn it, up and down the street, doing whatever it is I do, happy, giggling. You think you all that? Sure the fuck do. Yes, I do. You
that
know why? Because the Most High chose to keep me here.
that
And here I am. And I really don't care if you like it or not. I want to share this joy with you. I want you to feel like this shit too. Come skip with me, girl.
that we both can
We
frolic
can
in daily
skip
life.
together. That's the point. You see what I'm
That
saying? That's
part.
the thing. And that's where the hell back to her came from and all of that shit. That's what that shit is about. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
That's real shit. Period.
That part.
That's what the people need to understand. And then
That
you can feel like you want to feel, but you can't beat me now.
that that part. No, you're not gonna be me, child. It take a special visit to be me over here, goddamn it. Let me be clear, because I look back on my shit and be like, who, bitch, who?
Mm-hmm.
That was you?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All those pictures and stuff that I'm sending you, it's about more than the physical part. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't just look at the picture in the physical part. I look at the goddamn state of mind that I was in.
Yeah.
I sit back and think of the state of mind that I was in at the
Yes,
time
sir.
that those pictures were taken.
And you can see it
What
all over
the
the
hell?
face too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
look at my face and be like, "Ooh, bitch, you look dark and gray."
And yes,
I
and
was
gray.
serving casket realness.
And there was no light in the eyes at all.
None. Dark as shit.
And I ain't even talking about the dark spots. Shit,
That's
I'm talking about
nope.
the eyes in general. There was
Yeah.
no light
There
up in
was no
there
life in
because it
there.
was gone. Right.
It was
Right.
no life in there, girl. That shit, I was like, "Ooh, girl, look at your skin. You was gray. You was
Mm-hmm.
sunk in. Like you look like life was just doing you."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
and
hard.
you get tired of that. I know I did.
Bitch.
I got tired of it and said, you know what?
Listen.
It got to be more than this
Listen, and honestly, I had gotten to a point like, can't shit be worse than this shit I got going on here.
now.
It don't get no worse than this, because if it do, I'm just gonna act off myself, because I refuse to believe that
Mm-hmm.
it better not get worse than this, and I'm gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, and I meant that. Like, there was a hard conversation. Like, I know I need to flip it. This shit's going to be hard, but
Right.
if life gets worse than this, I am not going to make it.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not gonna be able to do it, because when I'm looking at
Mm-hmm.
these people working until they 60, so I don't want
Oh,
to do that.
listen, I used to think the same. Like I can't, and
I don't
apparently
want to do that.
you can't even get what is it? What is it? Not what is it? Retirement? Whatever the hell it is.
Retirement or some shit.
You're like 75 or some dumb shit.
You
What?
damn near
70?
dead.
What?
Like, I'm.
What? No, I remember I went to Rite Aid, and there was a fella there. His name was Jerry. Jerry was 95 years old. Do you hear me?
Oh Lord, no, ma'am.
Working down at the Rite Aid. I said, Jerry,
Mm-mm.
listen. He talking about this what he choose to do. You, Jerry, you lying. You
Yeah,
ain't.
you can't pay me to believe it. That's it.
Tell me that you didn't came up in here to work here at this Rite Aid just because. Now I could be wrong. I don't know.
Right. You
But you
could
just
really be
told me
doing that, but
you said you was retired for like 50 years now. You're now 40. I don't know. But you're 90 something years old.
why
And
are
I
you
just
up in
didn't
here?
want that to be my reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this can't be it. This cannot
Yeah.
be it.
Me looking at the elders, me looking at the disabled working, I'm just like, this shouldn't even be the case.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the
Mm-hmm.
elders, I damn sure don't want that to be me. When I
Mm-hmm.
look at them barely moving, I don't want that to be me. Life cannot be okay like that. I don't
Yeah.
want to be 70 barely able to move.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, yes. I was that's man, that's a blessed man. Listen. The fact that I can do anything at this point in life is
Listen,
indicative of the fact, like you said, who want to be, it's not even just 70, 50
50, that,
and can't move right.
that,
That
that,
that that's gonna make you depressed and anxious right there.
that part.
When I sit up and I see that, and I'll be like, "Ooh, we can do better."
We
And I
can do
think
so much
we can. And especially if when the support is there, though. That's the thing, though. That's the thing
better. That
is
is
having
that
the
is that.
support. Yeah,
That is
the
that.
support in the
You're
community.
absolutely right.
Yeah, and if you don't have it, then you gonna probably bed rot. I just had to think because every time I think of it, it just is such a stupid thing. It's just such a stupid term. A bed, what?
But that's a cute way to rope this around in our closings when you say that. So,
Yeah.
my closing, to piggyback on what you just said, ladies, the support is there, the
Hmm.
villages are there. Let
Yes.
me just be super honest, because you know that's what I do.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to hear feedback without a response, without an explanation. And here's why: you're so used to operating in the space that you're in, even though it's toxic. And because you have trust issues because of past situations, whatever those could be, it
Mhm.
keeps you from fully trusting someone to tell you which direction to go. So, what we tend to do is take what we feel makes sense and then throw out everything else and then create our own shit, and it still don't work.
Right.
You have to be
Right.
willing to take the feedback. You have to be willing to go with those that you admire. If there is someone that is living in the space that you desire, you go to
Mhm.
that person and you say, I enjoy watching you. I like the space that you are in. Do you mind sharing with me your blueprint on what got you there? And do you mind providing me feedback on what keeps me from getting there? You have
Right.
to be so open and so willing to take feedback. That is the only way you're going to know how to adjust. And let me use this analogy, and then I'm going to let Angie give her last. It's like your radio in your car. You know, you adjust the bass, you adjust the treble. Sometimes you might have too much treble, not enough bass. Sometimes too much bass, not enough treble. You have to balance that out. You have to take feedback on what those speakers are delivering to you so you know how much treble to add, how much bass to add. But you will never
Mhm.
know what to do if you are not hearing what's coming through those speakers. You can't adjust speakers if the shit's on mute.
That's right. That's right.
So be willing and open to receive, because for people like me, I'll give it to you, but it's going to be black or white because there's two things in this. I ain't got much time, and we ain't got much time on this earth. So I
Period.
really want to give you my time as much as I got of it. I
Period.
really want to give for. And in that, I want it to be so clear that you walk away knowing that, okay, I asked for her time. I asked her for this. She gave it to me. Now I can go in.
Right.
Because it's
Right.
really that simple.
Right.
Go for it, Angie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with all of it. All of it. You got to just be real, ready, willing, and able to do the work that it takes to get you to that next, whatever that next looks like for you. You know,
That part.
if whether it's getting past, the depression, or getting past the anxiety, or the weight gain or weight loss, or health and wellness, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you're trying to get past. I had to get past all of that stuff to even begin to see any type of measure of success in, not just in my business, in my personal life. Once I got that part together,
That part.
the personal part, then I was able to improve my business. You know what I'm saying? And to show up in my business. Because you can't show up if you can't show up for yourself.
That part.
That's the thing. How can how can I come out here and teach any women anything if I can't pull myself together enough to you know what I'm saying? If I can't put myself together enough to stand my ass up, how am I tell another woman, girl, get your ass up?
Listen.
I mean, for real though, like how can I tell you to get up and I can't get up?
Listen.
Hello, you know, and that's figuratively and literal, and literally,
Yeah.
like, what how can I say that to you? And and that's just what that is. And when you see, like I said, when you see us out here popping our shit and happy and flowing and feeling free, because that's what it feels like. It's freedom. It's
Yes.
freedom. I have never felt so free in my life. And it's, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And when you get there, um, you gotta it's hard work to get there. You just gotta be willing to work,
Yes.
and do what it takes to get there.
If you feel like
But
it's valuable enough, you'll work.
absolutely. I was just about, if you feel like you're valuable enough. That's the
That
thing. You have
part.
to feel like you are valuable enough. That you ready to get up and go after whatever it is that you say you want. You know, if you want to lose the weight, lose the weight. If you want to quit the job and find another one, do that. Go back to school, start your business, write the book, sing the song, whatever
Whatever.
it is that you say you want to do. It's time to get back to, get up and do it, because we only get to do this thing just the one time, just
Baby.
the once. And if you don't, if it's some shit that's not serving you and it's not making you happy, I don't care what or who it is, girl, bye. That's what you say, girl,
And you
bye.
know what? Truth be told, when you start and doing different shit, you'll notice that people really ain't fucking with you because they are just as engulfed in their own space and their own fun.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
They really
absolutely.
ain't thinking about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And right. It's, I don't know, you just gotta kind of learn to be thinking about your damn self. And then the rest of it will fall in place. I swear it will. It will fall in place. When you reconnect with you and get back to her, because
That
that's really what that is and what that means. The rest of the shit will fall in place. I promise you. I am a living witness.
that part.
And I can teach you what I did. I can show you
That
what I did. All you got to do is ask me. It ain't gonna
that
be free,
part.
but I can tell.
Yeah, nothing worth obtaining is free, honey.
Well,
No,
okay, it
no,
ain't gonna be
no, we're
free,
not that over
but
here.
I'm
No,
a
no,
we gonna work this thing out. That's and that's also the beauty of the art of womanhood.
that part.
Right. That's the beauty of that. So,
That part.
that's it. That's what I got. Stay tuned, of course, for the Art of Womanhood anthology
That part.
series. This is volume one. The pre-sale is beginning on December 12th.
That part.
Libra is a co-author in this project.
And
So, let's this is it, right? We down to the wire. It's
yes, we
about
are.
sharing these stories. It's about showing not just our challenges, but our triumphs, our fierceness, our femininity, which is our superpower, and our fearlessness,
Yep.
which help us get shit done. That's how we got up out the depression. That's how we
Yeah,
lost the
that's
weight.
it.
That's how we built communities. That's how we build in businesses and networking, and that's how that shit go. That's how we do.
Listen.
That's how we do that. So that's all I got.
Well, we did that in
We
spite
did it.
of lesson of the day. No matter the fuck what, keep going.
Even an hour
Shit.
later, God damn it.
Listen.
Because you know what? Somebody needed this. So if whenever you watching it, that's the other thing. When y'all tune in, because I know it's gonna be a replay situation for the most part, put hashtag replay in there and let us know where you watching from.
Please
Where did
do.
you whether it's in the group, whether you saw us, on YouTube, where did you see us? Where did you join us from? And what takeaways did you get, if any? If you didn't, say that shit too, you know? I mean, for real though, because we want all of it. We want the feedback. We want to know,
That
what you think.
part.
If it's something that you'd like us to discuss, let us know. Drop it in
Please
the comments and
do.
let us know. We with it.
Please do. We open, honey. We open. And
We
we just getting started. So the shit.
I'm trying to tell you. So, 2020, we got 33 days
Yes, we
left in
do.
this year. You know what I'm saying? So there's a decision to make it. Do it
Please
now.
do.
Do it. Just do it.
That's it.
That's it.
Until
Well,
the
we up
next
off this
motherfucking time.
thing. We up off this
Listen,
thing.
y'all. Next week we'll try this shit again. That's
We'll try it again. We're gonna be here. Now, whether we have sound, video, we don't know, but
we
we
don't
will be
know.
here.
We just
We will be here. I promise you, it's getting better, y'all. It's getting better. It's gonna be better. But you know what? We're not here for the bells and whistles. We're here for the conversation, right?
that is it. And we're gonna get that done no matter what.
No matter what. No matter what. So, do y'all. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Bye. Bye, girl.
Bye, sugars.